Am I audible? Okay, so today we shall discuss about this device modeling in architecture, because this is a very important thing that any type of that device or the system which we want to model, corresponding to that, how do we represent that and whether that device would be functional or not, and what are the various type of the problems or the constraints that may arise when making that device. The device modeling technique is very important in that category. Excuse me. हाँ हेलो हाँ हाँ उनमें भी उनकी जरूरी है सर So usually in this you may have gone through the various part of that in a programming while making that program कि उसमें हमारे पास में ER diagram है, DFD diagram है, आपका the flow chart है, तो that is a simplified way in order to represent that whether how does that program would functions, and if the problem arises in that case where that problems may be occurring, that can be easily identified. So similarly to this, that the device, the embedded device or the hardware which we are trying to make by using our own programs or various type of that input output which we are providing to that. So what are the constraints, like the number of the input, number of the output, whether the device would function according to that procedure or the function which has been called for or stored into the program and called for performing, the device may face a certain type of the problems. So in order to make the checkpoints and represent that precisely that during those type of the threshold or the triggering, the device would be enabled or disabled or transmit the signal to another. Corresponding to that, it is important that a precise modeling of the device is important. So there are the various type of the ways which are there. There are 10 different type of the modeling techniques that we shall try to cover in this class, and we see that how these different type of the constraints that can be considered. So when thinking about this, the device modeling, which is a set of the functional objects and rule composing these objects, that means that I do have the different type of the modules for a device, and these modules may be interconnected or they may be designed or work independently, but what type of the functions these objects are doing and how can I represent these functionality of these objects. So that is what is referred to as a modeling, and architecture is that implementation of this component and their connection. That means that associativity with this one part of that object to the another, and what type of the triggerings that would enable that the other device to function. So as you can see in a architecture, we have gone through the computer architecture subjects, so that there are the various different type of that objects that are there, and these objects are controlled by the control device, and some of this requires a prerequisite of the another, because without that input, that other part of that would not function. So precisely in the similar way, in every embedded device which we are making, those type of the constraints are there, so that we'll have to look into. So while making the model, there are the various type of the models, and category wise we can divide them into the different type of the categories. As you can, it is stated that state transition diagrams or state diagram, तो finite state machine आपका इसमें है, patinate है, hierarchical concurrent machine का है, तो finite state machine, that is a simplified way of representing this. But the constraint pertaining to this state-oriented model is that the device or this state-oriented model is only functional to a small part of that system, so where you can define those type of the states and their triggerings and associativity or the connectivity with one state to the another state. सो स्टेट ट्रांजिशन डायग्राम आपने पढ़ा होगा, आपको डिजिटल लॉजिक डिजाइन में ये सारी चीजें पढ़ाते हैं। नाउ the modified part of that, which where we do require to have the different type of the operations which can be executed concurrently. So in that case, the modified part of that finite state machine that is also there while designing that device modeling. And one important is this color petri net. So Richardson first proposed this petri net model where the triggering is to be there are the different type of the tokens available at each and every state, and that restricted that pertaining to that token, if it has been available only in that case, the device may trigger and go for the another state. So the transition of that button from the one state to the another state, or the token from the one state to the another state, only that does take place when the token is available. Otherwise, it will not go to that. So that means that that allows a certain type of the restrictions and the states of the transitions, so that if those type of the constraints are met, only in that case it would be allowed to go to the next state. So a color petri net is a now free open source software which is available. So certain type of that exercise that will also be given to you as a part of home exercise. So you would be provided the link to download this petri net, color petri net, and the different type of that exercises that we shall go in the class, and you require to make a model using this petri net. Okay, another is this activity oriented type of the model, which I have stated that the data flow graph or the flow chart or ER diagrams that you have gone through that, which in the normal programming or modeling that program, that how that program would function based on those inputs and output and the certain conditions which has been assigned, and based on that the system would function properly. Now, most of the times we do forget about that the internal function or external function, if it is been called, how does these external or internal functions are represented in the flow chart. So this is your homework exercise, and how does this annotation is represented in the flow chart. So these are the important part which is most of the time is missing with the student, that they are not aware about that the function, how does the function is being represented in the flow chart, whether that is an external or internal function. The third is that structure oriented type of the model, where which is important in order to make a device modeling, where the netlist is required to be defined. That implies that how many number of the inputs and outputs are there, and what are those connections associated with the inputs and output, or the number of the input from one module that is connected to the another module. So how many number of this wiring or that interconnectivity with the different modules are there. So pertaining to that, the wiring of all the different modules or the connection establishment between the different modules, that is referred to as a netlist. So again, that we have the register transfer level netlist, so we have the gate level netlist, or we may have that log box type of that there are the certain input and output that is there. So how many number of the inputs are there and how many number of the outputs are there. So pertaining to this, you may have gone through that. For every device currently which we are using, so they are having the address bus, data bus, and control bus. Okay, now because of this multi-core type of the architecture currently which has been available, and there are the different type of the core with each of this hardware. So how many number of the core are there, and what are the core voltage which has been associated with that device, and how these devices are connected together. So for that purpose, the important thing is that we do require to have the separate wiring for that. So if it is a device of the 32-bit, in that case, the 32-bit address line and 32-bit data line, both are the separated data lines are provided. That means that 32-pin connection separate for the address, and 32-pin connections for the data lines that should be available with the device, so that there should not be any dependency or the associativity with that timing diagram, so that first the address is to be fetched and then the data. If the address is already available, in that case the data can be accessed easily. So that is required in order to make the faster accessing of the data from the memory. So it is essential nowadays. That has been a normal practice in all the different type of the devices currently which we are using, either that may be a processor or the microcontroller or any other type of the device which we are using, that requires to have a separate input and output, and the separate the data and address lines, and there are the certain different type of the control diagrams. Now the data oriented model, here we do requires to see that ER diagram. Another modification of that transition from the one state to the another is through that the Jackson diagram. Pertaining to this Jackson diagram, based on those type of the constraints and the associativity with the other one, in that case, in which directions or in which flow that the process or the part of that device will function, and what type of the program or the functions that has to be executed, that can be easily represented by the Jackson diagram. Now, because the device which we are using, that is that itself is in heterogeneous, like this device which is having the three different type of the process, as I stated earlier, and that does have the different frequency, 3 gigahertz, 2.2 gigahertz, and 1.5 gigahertz, and each of these devices is having the different cache memory, and that uses the layer 3 memory, which is commonly shared by all the processors. So in that case, having such type of the heterogeneous model, how can we model them? So a modified part of the data flow graph with the control part that has been added with that in order to represent the device modeling. A structured chart is also there, programming paradigm, where we do require to look into that the different type of that inputs and outputs and their associativity, because some part of that input may be a floating number, or there may be a character or integer. So having those type of that, whether the device is supportive or not, then the constraints are there, and we do require to look into. So program, state machine, queuing model, object-oriented paradigm. So these are the different type of the models which can also be used in order to represent the device functioning. So as you can see that while making a device modeling, the very first step is that we do require to identify that what type of the function that device would operate, and how many or what are those physical components that are essential and required in order to make that function. And in this, we do require to go through that how many number of the subcomponents are required or there for the particular data device, and how these submodule or the subsystem of that module are required to be connected with each other. So as you can see that there are the various type of the constraints associated with this submodeling, because by making the device, there are always the different type of the submodules in a large system, and these devices, these submodules are connected with each other, and the triggering of from the one submodules or the data transmission from the subsystem to the another system associated to that, the device modeling which we are trying to make, that must be having those type of the depictions that indicates that having those type of that event, if that gets occurs only in that case the transition from the one submodule would occur to the another module, or some one state to the another state. So those type of the things are there, and while considering all these different type of that the concurrencies in the different type of the operations which can be handled by the device. So if I am able to make this such type of the modeling, in that case it is easy to me to visualize that if this type of the device, if it is been made, what type of the inputs are there, what are those components are there, so what are those internal events triggering, and the transition from the one state to the another, and external event triggering based on that outcome or that exit part from the one state to the another state, and then the output is to be given to the another module. So those are the things that we have generally gone through while making a program or the chart of the program, but that is not clearly depictable. But having such type of the device modelings in this very subjects, you would be able to see that or visualize that. It is very easy to represent the type of the modeling of the device and its depiction of the functionality in the precise and the concise way, so that we can easily understand the operation of the device. So there are the various type of the constraints that does also arises while making this based on those limitations of that modeling techniques itself and the type of that functionality or the operations that a device would perform. So my device may have a small number of the operations. In that case, it is easy to model that. But if I'm using a state transition diagrams and requires to have a large system, in that case that would not be feasible, and that should not be a good criteria to represent that. Only a small functional part of that would be easily feasible using this type of that device modeling. So now there are the 5 different methods of decomposing the functionality in a simple subsystem. What are those type of this functionality? So here you can see that if the device which has been specified is in or represented using the different type of the models, so we can go and if we test that whether this modeling is correct and are those constraints and the inputs and output that has been clearly specified, and now it is easy to go for the implementations. In that case, we go for the architecture, so that what type of the device which we should use, and whether because as you can see that while making the device and the feature size of that, the transition state of that, the input and output functionality of that, as I said that एक TTL है और एक CMOS है, दोनों को अगर मुझे इंटरफेस करना है तो I do have the problem. If I am making a connections of the CMOS with the TTL, in that case there is no problem. But TTL with the CMOS there is a problem because इसका जो maximum है वो जो threshold voltage है for the high state वो 3.4 voltage का रहता है. Sorry 2.4 voltage का रहता है. So it is not exactly that of 5 voltage which is there, but in order to operate the device CMOS, वहाँ पर मेरे को exactly 5 volt की या 4.8 to the 5 volt is required. तो मेरे को उसमें external circuitry की या external voltage की जरूरत पड़ेगी. Without that it will not be feasible to make this type of the connectivity. So problems are there while making a connectivity to the different type of the models and what are for that voltage. So as I said that in a nowadays all those processors which you are using, they are having more than there's a 356 number of that pins are there, 456, 640. There are the variations of the number of the pins which are there, indicating the different type of the core voltage at the different modules, and that is desirable in order to mitigate the power dissipation. So the placement, allocation, routing of the different wiring using these different modules, there is a separate subject pertaining to this problems to handle, and I have gone through that. I have taught this subject in many times. And that is a very important part of that idea I shall share with you to make you aware about that what type of these constraints are there, so while making such type of the device and how that can be implemented. So as you can see over here that there are the formal way just to give that key. It may arise this type of the problems. So if that is there, in that case, we can easily eliminate that. Okay. Another is that we do require to know the entire information of that system, and based on that, the device would have to function. So each and every transition or a step that has to be covered precisely while making such type of modeling. Now, the comprehensibility is a very important to that how often we can go for this modeling and whether the all those intermediate part of that or the stage, whether that can be easily specified or not. So, in that case, pertaining to that device modeling techniques, there are the various type of the constraints arises that the device modeling will not be feasible having those type of that modeling technique. As I give that to the state transition diagram, so for the larger system, that is not a good solution because that would make it too complex to represent that each and every transition state. While other type of that methods which we shall go through, in that case, that would be a self-comprehensible and would indicate those type of the functions easily, and using that we can easily able to make that understandable. So the modeling technique would have to be a self-explanatory and may not require to have the language specifications to represent that, and that should be easily depictable, and the person whosoever that may be who is using that later on that device would be able to understand that this device has to function in this accordance based on those type of the inputs and outputs and the various type of the constraints, and that has been properly depictable. तो ये सारी चीजें हमारे को जरूरी होती है जब भी हम डिवाइस को भी बनाते हैं। तो ऐसे नॉर्मल में अगर हम कहते हैं कि भाई हमें ये बनाना है, ये करना है, जब तक कि उसको हम प्रिसाइसली डिफाइन नहीं करेंगे, हमारा जो एक्सरसाइज है वो पूरी जो है वो इनकम्प्लीट कहलाएगी। तो जो भी स्टेप जो फॉलो करते हैं उनको प्रिसाइसली हमें करना चाहिए। जैसे प्रोग्रामिंग करते हैं तो हम सीधे के सीधे हम जो है वो कंट्रोल स्टेटमेंट से स्टार्ट कर देते हैं और उसमें जो है वो इनिशियलाइजेशन को छोड़ देते हैं, टर्मिनेशन कंडीशन को छोड़ देते हैं, वेरियस इनपुट आउटपुट कंस्ट्रेंट जो रहते हैं। तो उसमें it could happen that if the data input, if that is not given precisely, in that case the device or that operations will go in the infinite loop. So those type of the problems are there. So while keeping those type of the constraint in mind, we do require to make that modeling by using this ER diagram, FD diagram, or the flow chart. So वही चीज यहाँ पर भी इसमें रहती है कि जब हम एम्बेडेड सिस्टम को डिजाइन करते हैं तो उसकी हमारे को मॉडलिंग एफिशिएंट चाहिए और करनी होती है। तो उसके अंदर कई सारे डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ डाटा डिवाइस मॉडलिंग टेक्निक्स हैं जो हम इसमें डिस्कस करेंगे। मैं भी क्लास में हूँ, आधे घंटे बाद बात करूँगा। ओके, सो नाउ ये एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज इसमें आती है कि व्हाट आर दोस डिफरेंट लेवल ऑफ द एब्स्ट्रैक्शन इन द डिजाइन। तो इसमें बेसिकली 3 लेवल ऑफ एब्स्ट्रैक्शन रहते हैं, एंड यू कैन इजीली सी दैट आई हैव मेड दिस क्लियर that there are the 2 ways of representing any device modeling. One is a bottom-up approach and another is a top-down approach. So the simplified way is that the top-down approach, where the behavior of the system can be easily explained, or the functionality of the device can be explained in a simplified language, and based on that the system or automatic system or the programming tool or the software tool with supporting tool which are nowadays currently available, that would identify those functionality and their operations, and based on that automatically decide that what type of the subcomponent are there, what type of the RTL level of that, how many of the means the logic functionality of that, in order to implement those functional representation of that device, and finally the circuit that based on that device technology which you are mentioning. In that case, the device would make that circuit diagrams, and in that accordance you can go for that device making. So we have a behavioral description where the functionality of the device is to be depicted or that has to be mentioned. The device structure, so which is also referred to as a netlist, where we do give this RTL or register transfer level, that how many number of that inputs and outputs are required, and each and every intermediate components, how they are connected and would function. And the last is that physical design or implementation, so where we have a final layout of that or the master layout of that device, which is there in that accordance that a device will start functioning. So once that has been there, in that case, any one of that who wants to use that device, the master layout of that device can be used. So I give that example of this Intel, IBM, and AMD, that they were using the same master layout of the processors and modify part of that and launch their product with their own name in the market with the lower or competitive price. So that is what has been done in normal and healthy core competence environment, where the multiple organizations who are dealing with a similar type of that devices, they would have slightly variations in that and provide that in the market and commercialize their product. So if you have think in your mind that I may have this type of the device and I can challenge that the people would have the benefit of using that device, in that case you can design and make those type of the device at your own desk. So this is what an important thing is. So as you can see over here that there is an associativity with this three different type of the functionality, that the behavior functional and the structural part and the physical implementation part, of these three different parts are there interconnected with each other, and we have the different level of the abstraction associated with this, that the circuit level, logic level, process level, and system level. So there are the different level of abstractions itself within this, and using this we can model at any of these stages, or by using any type of this way in which we can design the system. The easiest way is that behavioral description of the device, where a simplified way of representing the functionality of the device can be depicted in a programming part, and the device should start functioning accordingly. So the very first part of this state modeling is or the device modeling, that is a state-oriented program. So the processor level, the behavior model of that there may be the different type of the stages are there, and what type of that function of the operation that very stage is performing. That you can also see with that arrow diagram here in this, and there are certain associativity and the transition from the one state to the another state that is taking place. Excuse me. Hello. I नहीं वहाँ से listening है मेरे पास में अभी ऐसे चल रहा है. So here, this diagram is slightly variations of that state transition diagram, so that you have gone through that. It is the state transition diagram or the finite state machine with the data. So state and the state of the transition from the one state to the another that is taking place. So what type of the input that is being provided and what type of the operation that is being performed, that is also being depicted over in each and every stage of this. So having slightly modification in this, we can see that at every stage which is being represented, ये आपने सारा ऑटोमेटा के अंदर सारा पढ़ा है, ट्यूरिंग मशीन के बारे में भी सारा आपने पढ़ा होगा, तो उसमें ये सारे स्टेट ट्रांजिशन के बारे में है. तो इसमें a slight modification part of that is over here, that we can see over here that in this very functionality, there are the inputs and the operation that need to be performed. So and the transition which is taking place. So as you can see over here, that at each state executes a computation represented by one or more arithmetic expression, and it does not depict that at what time that a transition is taking place. Okay, so there is no clock assignment or the clock cycle or the number of the clock cycles that is needed in order to perform. So there are the advantage and disadvantages also there in order to represent this type of functionality. Because if I am knowing that very addition operations would require the 2 clock cycles and the multiplication operations would require the 50 clock cycles. So the amount of the times that would take place in order to make that operations, and the data dependency is there. So in that case, unless the data is not being available, I cannot transit to the next state or wait to that completion of that data, because there are the different type of the faults which may occur. So you may be aware and going through while discussing or studying about this computer architecture, the different type of the hazards. Okay. So here in the normal way, in order to make a device modeling, so we represent that in the logic system design में भी stuck at 0 and stuck at 1 आपको सिखाया होगा, तो भी किस तरीके से उसके अंदर हम ये प्रॉब्लम को फेस कर सकते हैं जब भी ट्रांजिशन हो रहा है तो. So now in state transitions we can represent the device in the Mealy or Moore machine in the finite state diagram. So here in this case, in the Mealy machine, we are having the 5 different type of that components. One is the states, and another is that the transition. Okay, the input and output. So as you can see over here, that the based on that stage and the available input, the transition would take place from the one state to the another state. So here in this very diagram, we are having the 3 different type of the states, S1, S2, and S3, and the inputs are R1, R2, and R3, and the output are D2, D1, and U1 and U2. Okay, so based on this, the functionality and the operation that can be easily presented, that if that input is available and the transition would take place from the one state to the another state. So you can easily see that in a simplified finite state machine diagram. Okay, now the same diagrams that can also be represented Moore machine. So here you can see that the separation of this input and output states are there, and the transition of that is depictable also. But in this case, the complexity of the device modeling would become a difficult one, and it is difficult to understand also. So in this case, which type of that modeling would be easy to understand, and what type of the operations that can be performed. We do require to know in the easiest and simplified way. For that, the Mealy machine type of the modeling of that finite state diagram, using that finite state diagram is a easier one, and we should use or follow that. So let us take an example of making a Mealy machine where we do require to make a model of an elevator controller. The condition is that if the elevator is stationary and the floor requested is equal to the current floor. Okay, जैसे अपने कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग डिपार्टमेंट में है, तो मेरे पास में 3 फ्लोर हैं, तो हम कह सकते हैं कि 3 इसके अंदर फ्लोर के ऊपर उसमें जा सकती है. तो इसके अंदर अगर वो आप लिफ्ट में गए हो और आप उसी को ही जिस फ्लोर पे उसी फ्लोर को दबा रहे हो, तो लिफ्ट क्या करेगी? वो कहीं नहीं जाएगी. दैट विल रिमेन आइडल. सर मेरी क्लास से मैं 15 मिनट बाद फ्री हूँ. Okay. And if the elevator is stationary, because that is desirable, because in the movable state you cannot make the transition, so that need to be stable, and the floor requested is less than the current floor. So in that case, what would happen? आपका फ्लोर जो है वो सेकंड भी हो सकता है, वन भी हो सकता है, तो इन दैट केस इट हैज टू गो टू द डाउनवर्ड्स. ओके, तो इन दैट केस दैट हैज टू बी द requested floor should be it has to go to the downstairs. Okay, so the direction of that should be in the downside. If the elevator is stationary and the requested floor is greater than the current floor, in that case it has to go upwards. Okay, or the direction of that movement of that lift should be upside. So but if suppose there are the two different type of the lifts, okay, and that both lift are having a common controller. So in this case, if I am having a multiple story, so which is near to me, the current floor or the requested floor, the current floor where I am currently requesting make my request to use that lift. If I am pressing that, so in that case you have to check that which floor is nearer where that lift is currently available or that is in the movable state, and if it is near to that, in that case only that lift would be allowed to get open the door, otherwise it has to wait for that. So this type of the constraint are there. You might have gone through this, that nowadays all these elevator controllers are smart enough to decide that which lift door should be open or that lift should go near to that customer who is requesting that floor request. That lift which is nearer to that would only be allowed to go for that, or if that current requested lift, if it is already in the operational and the other is idle, in that case that should be allowed to use that flow request, and it should come in order to access that lift. So this type of the facility is there, and as you can see over here that the three different type of the stages are mentioned: the idle stage, upward or downward directions, and these three different type of the conditions, if then else conditions, that the requested floor is the current floor and the direction is idle, and another part of that is that in while having this the requested floor is less than or the greater than, and based on that the direction of the lift should move upward or the downward. So it is easy to make such type of that state transition diagrams, and you can see over here that a simplified way of representing these conditions in a theoretical way and in the programming way, and the similar type of the modeling that can be represented in the each and every operations of that device, and that can be easily functions in that accordance. So we can add the multiple number of the constraints while making such type of the device, but that would make more complexity in the device operationality. So we'll have to be very much cautious to that while making such type of the device, that whether that would function properly or not, or what type of that termination conditions that can arise. तो इसमें अगर कोई स्टक हो जाता है या उसमें फॉल्ट आ जाता है या कोई मल्टीपल रिक्वेस्ट आ जाती है, वो सारी चीजें इसमें एलिमिनेट अभी इसमें नहीं दिखाई गई हैं, बट वो कंडीशंस भी आपके आती हैं, नॉर्मल सिनेरियो में आते हैं. The people may have simultaneously requested the different floors or the same floor, and the position of the lift may be varying, and that may be at the different stages. So in that case, how does that program would handle such type of the situation? So this would be a part of your homework exercise to explore those type of the constraints which may arise and that need to be explored while making such type of the elevator controller. Okay, so this is what are the merits and demerits of this finite state machine, that it is gives that temporal behavior description of that device, and it is mainly a control dominated system, and it lacks the hierarchy and the concurrency. As I said, that the simultaneous Simultaneously, if the multiple requests are arising, in that case, it will not be able to explore those type of that conditions. So, to whom the priority should be given, so the priority assignment and the queuing techniques, all those type of the things that you need to incorporate while making such type of the constraints while making the device modeling while or using this finite state machine. तो आपके पास में वो सारी चीजें इसमें रहती है. So as you can see in a architectural implementation of the elevator controller, there is a combinatorial logic because there is no memorization required. So but if the feedback is there and the direction is required to be decided based on that current position, so in that case we do require to make this as a sequential systems, okay, and where the previous stage is required to be considered while deciding that next stage. So in this case, you can see that the RTL level, there are the two inputs, and based on that current position, the decision is required to be made. So we have the requested floor and the current floor from where that request is being made, and we give that to the combinatorial logic, and based on that current position of the lift, which is being stored in a state register, and the conditions are required to be tested, and the direction is decided based on that comparison with the current floor, with the requested floor, and what is the current position of that particular lift is. In that case, the direction would be made. So the state level is very quite simple, where there is one processor, one is a memory, and there are the input and output ports, because we are just making an input and or the requesting of that floor, and the output is that the moving of the lift in the upward or downward direction. So a simplified way of representing this, the different way the device modeling you can easily make, and it is easy. Here you can see quite in a simplified way we can represent that. So another important thing is that the control data flow graph. आपने data flow graph तो पढ़ लिया होगा, data flow diagram के तौर पे जिसे कहते हैं, but इसमें कई सारे जो है ना इसमें डायग्राम्स के अंदर, जैसे मैंने कहा कि आपका फंक्शन को कैसे रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे, एक्सटर्नल फंक्शन को कैसे करेंगे, इंटरनल फंक्शन को कैसे करेंगे, इसमें एनोटेशन को कैसे करेंगे, डायरेक्शंस अगर है तो उसको कैसे इसमें दिखाएंगे, और उसका there are the different type of the ways are there. So there are the multiple number of the inputs and the dependency associated with that input is there. So based on those constraints, we do require to move to which directions that based on those constraints or the input, which type of that function that need to be performed, and what are the different intermediate stages that may be there. So if you can see over here that there are the three different inputs stages and multiple operations that can be performed by it. So if the consider of if diamond यहाँ पर ये जो दिखाया गया है, which represent the conditions of the BB block, which represent the computation. So usually I do not depict what has been written on the slide, but for the sake of the simplicity, I am stating that here that the control data flow graphs, where we are also depicting that different type of the inputs and the data dependency, that having those type of the input available, only in that case we would be allowed to go for the next level, otherwise we'll have to go to the another part. So as you can see here that which part of that temperature, suppose the temperature is to be computed, current temperature of the MNIT or the Jaipur city. So in that case, whether I want to use that the Fahrenheit or the centigrade. So condition is that, so in that case the that computations based on that that formula or the conversion of the Fahrenheit is to be converted into the centigrade, or centigrade to the Fahrenheit, and then that would be depicted to the screen. तो वो सारी चीजें हमारे पास में सिंप्लीफाइड वे में, जैसे मैं बता रहा हूँ कि मेरे पास में कंस्ट्रेंट है, इनपुट कौन सा दिया है, आपका कौन सी लोकेशन है और क्या आप उसमें चाह रहे हो, और उसके बिहाफ पर आपकी वो कंडीशन मैच हो रही है, ओनली इन दैट केस दैट वुड गिव दैट आंसर। बट इसमें भी हमारे पास में है कि वो कितना टाइम ले रहा है किसी ऑपरेशन को कंप्यूट करने में, और वो उसकी क्या क्या स्टेजेस इंटरमीडिएट हो सकती है, क्या मैंने उसको लूप में दे रखा है, नंबर ऑफ द रिपीटेशंस कितने हैं उसके, वो डिसाइड इससे हमें करना है, तो उसमें द फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ दैट ऑपरेशंस दैट नीड टू बी परफॉर्म। सो इन दैट केस इफ द डिवाइस इज देयर व्हिच इज a concurrent device and having the ability to perform that in the concurrent way, that implies that the device is having a symmetric multi-architecture components where the part of that program can be executed parallelly with the other part, and the device which has been used can support that concurrently. So in that case, a specific device may operate multiple number of the times, so other may never be used based on that constraints or the conditions which you are providing. So in that case, one may be in the starving conditions, other may be in the exhaustive conditions, and may get heated up because of that the frequency of the operations which are being performed, and it may be having a resource constraint. So those type of the things are there. We need to focus while making this type of the devices. The same things we are working in that area of the parallel compiler part, that having such type of the constraints available with us, whether of my the compilation or prior to giving that program for the execution, so the compiler part would automatically detect the availability of the resources, look into the dependency, and provide that parallelism, look into that the number of the frequency in the devices that need to be operations, so where the parallel with that subsection part here in this BB1 or BB2 or BB3, the three different operations are there. If the dependency is not there, in that case that can be executed in parallel. तो क्या मैं एक अपर लेवल ऑफ एब्स्ट्रैक्शन पे या पहले से ही अगर मैं डिसाइड करके अंदाजा लगा सकता हूँ और उस डिवाइस को मैं ये सारे ऑपरेशन को दे सकता हूँ, तो इन दैट केस द ऑपरेशन बिकम्स द इजियर वन, एंड the thing research in this area is currently going on. One of my research scholars who is working in this particular part. Okay, so in the next class we shall discuss about the color patinate or the patinate operation. Okay, if you have any problem, you may ask. Anybody who is having any problem? Rajit, Achala. Sure, I will give this slide. Okay, this shall also be available at the Moodle, and all these learning materials, the book, soft copy of the book, because most of you are not having those book, तो ये कैसी की book है वो मैं आपको share करूँगा. Okay. Any other question? Imran? So I stop over here. In the next class, we shall discuss about the color patinate or the different type of the device modelings. Okay. Bye.